Welcome in and happy Friday, everybody. Welcome. It's the Nick Club Wrestling Happy Hour. I am one half of your host and virtual bartender, Mr. Nick Teodoro. Joining me, as always, is my tag team partner in life, my wife, Miss Nicole. Nicole, what are you having this evening?
Oh, you know me, my usual Tito's, orange, and cranberry juice. Mr. Nick, you need to tell us what you're drinking and our three things for the show.
Well, I am having my J-Lore Seven Oaks Cabernet as usual. Well, DIY has won back the WWE Tag Team titles. Toni Storm has returned to AEW on Dynamite, and we have our WWE Saturday Night main event predictions. It is Friday, December 13th, 2024. This is the Nick Club Wrestling Happy Hour. Welcome back in. Happy Friday again, everybody. It's been a week. It's been a while. Nikki.
It's been a week.
It's been something, but we made it to Friday.
We did it. We're here. We're at happy hour.
Appreciate you all. If you are new here, we appreciate you coming in. Hit the old like and subscribe. If you are a regular, we love having you back. So, Nikki, we've got a lot to get to.
A lot.
We're going to try and get to it all in the next hour. Open up the phone lines. You never know who's going to show up on the Nick Club Wrestling Happy Hour. We have some special guests, maybe a little bit of a closed bar situation. You never know. So, let's get right to it. We open with our newest, well, I guess it's our newest segment. Yeah. Let's kick it with Nikki's non-kayfabe news.
Say it every week. That music makes me so happy. Anywho, so sort of backtracking a little bit. Like we talked about this on our recap of Survivor Series whole games. But there is, wrestling's not ballet. We had some injuries.
Sorry, I missed it. I was so close.
But we had some injury updates, and Solo kind of opened his promo with it on last week's SmackDown that surgeries. Camacho got torn bicep, had surgery last week. Then I think the biggest news is Bronson Reed shattered his ankle. Like, we all saw the video of it. It's like, oh, baby. But he just had ankle surgery done. They're saying he's out 6 months, missing Mania, probably be back in May timeframe, hopefully, if all goes well. And then kind of, I guess, least of all, again, I've broken toes before, so I feel him. But they're saying Jay should be back in January. So I'm assuming, would that be like a Rumble surprise, like someone in the bloodlines in the Royal Rumble match, and then like they're running roughshod, and then here comes Jimmy.
Potentially. Yeah.
So out of that War Games match, 2 surgeries, all the things broken, torn. Again, wrestling is no joke at all.
Wrestling is real. People are fake.
Exactly. Pro wrestling is real. People are fake. Like, his ankle is so bad. And then you see there was post-surgery, you saw Camacho with like the bandage on his bicep, and he was in a sling. Again, I've broken my toe. It hurts. So yeah, War Games, not a joke.
Yeah, it's interesting because I got to give a shout out to a new regular of the show, Josh. He called us when he called in last week. He's like, Bronson Reed. I thought it was kayfabe that he was injured, but Bronson Reed really did mess up his ankles taking that fall in what was my big Nick energy moment.
Yeah, you just see his ankle just like, whoa. Oh, it was a lot.
But yeah, so ultimately, we'll see where this goes. How do you all feel about this? Is it just kind of it's interesting because I guess you have 1-for-1 in a lot of ways with Jimmy and Tonga Loa. So I guess like you could still further the bloodline storyline the way it's going. It doesn't really hurt it as much. So that's kind of good in a way.
I love how Solo used it in the promo. He's like, "Oh, I'm too short."
I can't say it now.
2 soldiers down. But he's like, but he's like, but we're still, but we're still on top. I'm still the head of the table. Blah blah. I'm still your tribal chief. So I love that he's like, oh, we might have, lost some. We had some. I'm saying lost some casualties. Had some casualties, but we're still running the show.
Exactly. So we move along. It is interesting. What do you all think? Let us know. You think it's going in the comments below? Do you think this is bad, or we can tread water, or WWE can tread water with the storyline moving forward? We shall.
I just feel bad for Reed because I feel like he was feuding with Seth and being inserted in this match and being like on his way to the upper card, the upper tier, and then I'm just like, oh, so I hope he comes back on time again. Don't rush. Do your time. Take it easy. Come back proper when you're actually healed, and then.
Yeah. No. I think that's the thing, and especially with these bigger wrestlers, they can come back and be more as a monster. Like Braun Strowman did it. Big Show did it for years. Mm-hmm. Mark Henry did it. Name the list goes on. It's always the story's old as time in wrestling with the bigger wrestlers. Yep. So Javier, welcome back in, Javier. It's just a setback there. Hundreds of Samoans that can step in if you look at the bloodline tree. Drew, I think Hikuleo, Tonga could be. We've been saying this for like 6 months now. Eventually, I'll be right. So he could be on the way. One of these days, it'll happen. But yeah, so we'll see where it goes from here. But overall, again, not the greatest, but I think things that can be worked through, and we could tread water for a little bit. Injuries happen, but as long as especially some of these guys like Bronson Reed and Jimmy Uso can come back with a little bit of momentum, I think we'll be pretty good on that front. So yeah, really interesting.
A quick segment today.
Yeah,
quick. Lots to get through. And
that is Nikki's Notes. Not Nikki's Notes, Nikki's News.
God, news.
Talking is hard. Talking.
No more talking.
Talking. No more talking. But
any users.
So we move into our SmackDown takeaways. So this show, again, because we're previewing shortly, we will be previewing Saturday night's main event. We're going to gloss over SmackDown and Raw and Dynamite, just the key takeaways of the week that aren't going to be associated with Saturday night's main event, which obviously won't be any AEW, but we're going to get to as much as we can that's newsworthy. So, Nikki, as we get into our SmackDown preview, well, our big moments, our big takeaways from SmackDown, well, ultimately, DIY gave it their best shot at becoming tag team champions. So, Nikki.
Yes.
DIY.
We are.
For the second time in their careers,
on
main roster are the tag team champions. So, your thoughts?
I love this. I know the TCTs of will they, won't them of Tommaso and Johnny Gargano is legendary at this point. Will they, won't they? Who will turn on who will do what? And you're thinking, I personally love Tommaso better as a heel. And then for him, you just see that, like, I don't know if he corrupted Johnny or Johnny. It kind of shows that, like, Johnny was in on it the whole time. Again, if the old school NXT days, it's kind of like when I sort of fell off NXT, but, like, Johnny kind of being the heely in the way. That was the faction, the way. That I love them heel together. I love the tag belts. I think
MSG.
the Guns chasing DIY, because again, your puppy baby faces are, again, it's always better chasing. So have them chase through Mania or whatever, have a big tag schmoz. But heel, Tommaso, and Gargano, I'm here for it. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, again, Gargano, I think it's something that it could help Gargano elevate him to another level in the stratosphere of stardom, that maybe he could be on a borderline main eventer on SmackDown, challenge and be a foil for, not foil, but be a challenger for Cody at one point in time if they do go their separate ways. It's an interesting dynamic. I do like the two faces, though, with these two teams, because I know they could put on a great match. But I guess ultimately, you know how I feel about faces and heels in this. So I feel like there has to be one. So it's not, to me, I don't feel terrible about it. It's just another layer to keep this feud going. Mm-hmm. And again, where do the Street Profits fall in all this? Maybe that's another layer, wrinkle in this that comes in time.
Because I think the insinuation is that DIY beat up Street Profits because they were supposed to go against the Guns for the belt, and then they got injured, and then Gargano with his Canadian tuxedo came out. I was like, oh, well, if you want a wrestling match, like, we'll wrestle you. We're best friends. Mm. And then to Low Blow, it's just like, oh, he did it. Like, I don't know. And again, with you in the face heel thing, then turn DIY heel, and then Guns chase. I'm here for it.
Well, so you mentioned the Guns. So my question is, now that the Guns have fallen after a month and a half-ish run,
yeah.
How do you feel about the Guns' actual title reign? Do you think it was too short? Do you think this was a waste, or is this good enough to keep the feud going that you're okay with this on SmackDown? Because to me, I'm not happy with it. I think you build them up, you give them such a hot start, beating the Bloodline, 2 wins in a row, and now they're champs. You want to build them up as this great tag team that, I almost called him Cody Rhodes, Corey Graves, builds them up on SmackDown. Like,
your tag team's favorite tag.
Yeah, like then doing this doesn't make sense. The only thing that I could understand is it's the kind of booking, the sports entertainment booking that they did with like Goldberg and Lesnar, where it's like not a quick, but like anyone can be beat, so like anyone can get hot and win the belts. Maybe that's the idea, is that like they were on a momentum run. But to me, don't really love this. I think it was an opportunity to keep the tag team division on SmackDown strong and keep those and put more prestige into the tag team title belts. And this booking doesn't do that to me. Big surprise, yes. Ruse. It's actually, it feels like every time there's about to be a pay-per-view or PLE, well, even though this is, I guess, kind of considered half and half PLE, there's always a tag title change on SmackDown, like right before it, or like 2 weeks before it. So it's a hot potato thing to me. I don't know.
I'm gonna have to disagree with you, of course. I think they had to get the belts off the Bloodline, and I think a good way. What they did have this. Again, your tag team, favorite tag team, come in, this valiant babyface team come in, get the belts off the heels for like just out wrestling them to me. And then I guess maybe their guard was, again, like they didn't lose cleanly. Like obviously there's a low blow. So it's like, to me, it's like they didn't lose clean. They got turned on by someone that they thought that was a friend. And a friend that's like, again, then you see, I'm gonna not Sabin, the other one.
Shelly.
Yeah, so like Shelly was on the top rope and he saw it and he came down and he was just like, what are you doing? I just feel like that's how they lost. They thought they were just kind of having an exhibition with the friend. You're doing this match, and then all of a sudden, Low Blow, he comes off the top rope, just like, why are we doing this? And then win. So, and again, if you're all heel facey, then you want this baby face to chase the heels that screwed them over.
Right.
So it's like Impact, get it off the Bloodline, and then have the program, into Mania, have the big match at Mania, and have your baby faces come on top.
That's fair. That's a fair point. Nikki makes a fair point. What do you all think? Do you like this? Are you not a fan? of this? Are you Team Nick or Team Nikki here? Do you want MCMG having the tag titles for a little bit longer, or do you think this is okay for DIY?
Because again, they're gonna get them back.
You presume. You never know. You just never know.
Yeah, again, if you're all face heel, have your baby faces run after them.
Fair enough. But again, I don't know. I just think it was a little too soon. But I don't know. We'll hear from all of you. So again, we're moving along from SmackDown. Anything that's not going to really take into account for this PLE on Saturday, tomorrow evening, we're going to just kind of brush aside, we're going to put that into each Raw and SmackDown segments, and then anything that has to do with the PLE, we will discuss. So that brings us into Nikki, Monday Night Raw with our Monday Night Raw takeaways. So we get into Raw, a lot of Punk Rollins drama, a couple promo packages between the two. Basically, in a nutshell, Rollins wanted Punk to train him for free. This is what Punk says. A lot of back and forth. He said, she said, kind of.
He and he.
Well.
What's your name? What's your pronoun?
He and he. I guess, yeah. He and he. He said, excuse me, promos. So, again, I think it's going to be a lot of that we'll see for a little bit up until probably Rumble time, where we'll see maybe a little bit more interactions.
Rumors is that they're supposed to fight at the first Raw on Netflix. So that's 2.5 weeks, numbers.
Yeah,
2 weeks away.
So again, they're going to make a huge deal out of that opening Netflix Raw. So we're going to see a little bit more of that. But Nikki, you know how we feel about the Wyatt Sicks.
I am in tribute. I am wearing my Brody.
Hold on, let me see if I can do
that. My Brody Lee shirt. Because I'm so upset at this. And justice.
Justice for the Wyatt Sicks.
Go on. I'm just going to sit here and cry.
So ultimately, in what has both total groups in a match, even strength, if you call it that. At the end, it's not necessarily even strength. We see, the ensuing chaos that happens, and ultimately, I almost called him Bo, Uncle Howdy has Karrion Kross in the Sister Abigail about to put him away. Miz shows up. It's kind of a little bit of a 2-on-1 in this cluster. They go around, they fall outside the ring, or close to outside the ring, and ultimately, who shows up? Near a ring, Paul Ellering. Hold on, get a little drop for that. But Paul Ellering shows up, and behind the scenes, or not really behind the scenes, hits him with the old school powder in the face. This was one of my favorite things back in the day. How many times did they use this? Mr. Fuji.
I was going to say, would it be Mr. Fuji?
Yeah, but that's just like, an old school booking tactic.
Agreed.
They always love. Hits him with, I almost called it the mist, the powder in the face. And we see Karrion Kross hits with the weirdest, I don't like Karrion Kross's finisher. I forget what he calls it. But it's just.
It's finals.
It's a mixture. It's honestly a weirder F5, just put in a power slam thing, but I digress. Ultimately, again, it gets us back to the Wyatt Sicks falling to the Final Testament The Miz. So, Nikki, your thoughts about this? How do you feel?
I said the only thing that makes obviously me feel better about this is that it was the nefarious act. There was the powder in the eyes. Again, but if he's supposed to be like sort of the spoopy character, why does the powder affect him so much? And again, you keep booking the Wyatts with factions that also can't lose. Like Final Testament also really needed this win. Like they did.
Or is it they don't build up factions?
You think Triple H would be all about factions? And he shit on Vince for not being about factions, and hence DX.
Well, Ed, We had Paul Ellering, the former manager of Mike Hawktua and Johnny Animal. Ed.
The other Laurinaitis. The Animal's brother was Johnny.
Yeah, no, it was.
But you could be making a joke, and it's
yes,
over my head right now. I get the first part of the joke. I love you. But like I don't. Again, it's the same how I felt when he was against American Made. Like they also needed the win. You gotta build up more factions because obviously someone has to take a loss, but they both really needed a win. And I guess I'm okay with him taking the pin because I get powder in the eyeballs. But I don't.
You can't see, you can't win. How many matches, people?
Yeah,
blindfold matches, you never win.
You don't
Nobody
need your
wins.
eyeballs to kick out. I don't know.
Yeah, but it hurts so much you can't even focus on kicking out. I can't say that. Joey Animal.
Yes, it's Joe and Johnny Laurinaitis.
See, Ed agrees with you. Ed thinks that
I didn't love this. I don't the Wyatts the.
But then why does the mist work then for Nakamura?
No, the only reason that makes me not want to cry even harder is again he got the powder in the face. You couldn't beat me clean. You had to do something. It's way too flippant early for them to have lost already. But again, it's a Final Testament. It also needed a win.
Right. Yeah, like you can't just have them bulldoze over. But yeah, I just thought even strength didn't make sense. Even strength, I agree. Wyatt Sicks, even strength should never lose. Now, I will throw this out there. I do see, and we'll talk about this probably more in the coming weeks, but I do see with Ellering's return, there being kind of a light at the end of the tunnel, so to speak, where Alexa Bliss could return now to even the odds. And if that's what you're selling me on, I'm in. I'm in for it.
We have to debate that because I don't 100%. I'm not sold on Alexa Bliss coming back.
I think she is.
I know.
In the group, you mean?
There's the history, there's the thing, but there's also a part of me that just wants her to be like the goddess Alexa Bliss. When she was the Raw was champion, like that character more than
oh my god,
Lily
Lilith. Well, she was supposed to be Lilith. It was like her.
Well, the doll was
the crown.
Lily.
Yeah, but Lilith was going to be what she became with the crown with the Bray Wyatt stuff.
Because Lilith didn't want to be a bottom.
Basically. So, I don't know.
But I don't know. I have feelings about this.
We want to hear from you. Let us know in the comments what you think.
I just think it's too... Again, everyone's going to lose. I thought that this was too early. I'm glad there was at least... It wasn't clean. And I know Ed
says the mist has magical properties.
It does. But I know Ed shouts out Carrot all the time. And, I want the personality that Carrot has on, the Instagram and all that stuff to come... on TV, and I think they need to. I know he's alluded it on social media that he needs to take credit for the New Day because he set that seed in motion.
Steven said it could have been worse. Could have been Truth's water bottle of doom. You remember that? Oh, that was awful.
Was that when
he hit Johnny Nitro or whatever he was called, John Morrison, Johnny whatever.
Was that when they were having the water gun fight?
No. It was before that, way before that.
Okay, then that was my in-between time.
But yeah, I don't know. We're not 100% sure where it's going, but again...
I just want better for both of them, to be honest, for both factions, to be honest.
That's fair.
Because again, I think AOP should be bigger than they are, because again, those matches between DIY, the Revival... And then they had amazing matches back then. They were the big, the other guys were the technical people, and they were the big powerhouses. They were such fun matches. I just want more for everyone involved because I think they're better in the ring and can tell better stories than what they're being allowed to tell right now.
You just love them so much.
And I love them much.
So I don't know. Well, let us know. We'll see. We shall see. Let us know in the comments what you want to see. Nikki, move on to our AEW segment. We go into Ed's favorite, Dynamite.
Like the boom.
So
no, like a fuse, bring the boom. Dynamite.
As we head to, was this Winter is Coming?
Yes, this was their Winter Coming. The Winter is Coming special. Again, that was an integration with whatever that, not Game of Thrones, but it was the pre-post.
Yes.
Whatever show spinoff that was supposed to be, and that's when Sting debuted, and he had all the snow. And I don't know if this really. It's again like Spider Fest. Like, it doesn't really make sense.
Yeah, a couple years. So a lot of Continental Classic, more of that, which math is hard, and Scott Steiner has taught us math is even harder. So we're going to kind of glance over it. The big takeaway, because again, this is going to be a very WWE-oriented show. The big takeaway that we see on Dynamite, we talked about it in our open, we see the return, Nikki, Toni Storm.
My girl.
Coming back. There's only one way. I feel like, I pride myself on the music for this show. Some covers. Nikki, Storm is coming. How about a little Garth Brooks?
And the lightning strikes. Another love grows cold on a sleepless night. As the storm blows on out of control.
Nikki?
Another song I've never heard in my life.
Garth Brooks? How dare you? How dare you insult country music legend like that?
He's weird.
It's not him singing it, obviously, because we love covers on this show. This is the bar themed. We love our covers. So we get back to it. The storm is coming. The storm's here.
I don't know how I feel about this.
Well, I'll throw it up and
I loved Timeless Toni. It was incredible. And again, I think if you're going to kind of pivot away from that, again, before it got too old and stale, and I think her just leaving the O2 at Wembley and just walking out into the streets and her just ending it, like, I get it. I don't necessarily love her coming back to the backwards hat, the stripe. I'm hoping this, I hope this is, because everyone, all the sheets and all the other stuff that I listen to, they're like, Timeless Toni's dead. Like, she's back to the old Toni. And I was like, I hope this is a ruse or a way to get into Mariah May's head. Like, oh, now you're the champion, you're the star, and then I'm going to be like how she kind of groomed Mariah to be. Like, I hope this is more mind gamesy than her being, Toni Storm of old.
So Javier chiming in. Javier, hopefully you're doing well, my buddy. The wrong Toni Storm came out, he said. Now, I agree. I wanted to see the Timeless thing, but however, Nikki, you kind of touched on it. So with this storyline, now I see a slightly different alteration of this. Now, she came out and like her imitating Mariah, that's a good head game thing, but I think of it more of internally with her. What if she has a personality crisis where she doesn't know, because she has two different personas now?
And she flips in between the two?
Yeah, because she's the loss has screwed her up so much she doesn't know what to do. And now she's going to have, and maybe there's like kind of like McFoley asked, she creates a third personality that she can go with too, that eventually becomes like the Toni Storm.
She can do like the three faces of Toni?
Yeah, like I love the Timeless gimmick, because honestly, this gimmick does nothing for me. It did nothing for me in NXT, WWE. It did nothing for me in AEW. The Timeless gimmick is what worked. It got everyone interested in her, and she lived it well. She played it well, and it had money written all over it. To do this, see if you're going to do it this way and go back to the old character legitimately, I hate it.
I get.
Steve says, Timeless up.
Yeah, and I get you want to kind of like, when it's like kind of like what Triple H said about DX when we broke up DX and everyone's like upset about it. He's like, we were up, like, let's end while we're up. You don't want to like have it come all the way down. You're jumping the shark and it's shit. Like, I get ending that Timeless Toni persona. I just don't want. I want to see her go forward, not backward.
Yeah, great.
I think she's such a light in AEW, a light in the women's division, that I don't want her to revert back to this. I know people were also pissed off. Again, I don't know. I'm assuming pre-taped. Haven't watched it, but she's supposed to fight Harley Cameron on Rampage, and people were pissed that we haven't seen her since the big pay-per-view, and her first match back is on Rampage. But Rampage is also dying and also going to be off TV soon. So is this Tony Khan's desperate attempt to get people to watch Rampage? So I kind of see both sides, but also like Harley Cameron on Rampage, like girl, no one's watching that.
Yeah, exactly. So
as much as I love Tony, I don't think it's enough to get people to watch. Again, I'm just gonna watch the highlights.
Javier, this is a great point. I want the AEW Tony, not the WWE Tony. That's exactly what we're talking about. Like that's kind of my point, is that like it's rehash. Don't rehash the same characters. The character you made in your own company. Like, make that your money character. I don't know. Javier, I know you want Mina to win. I don't think she has the momentum at all. I know people like her because I think it's a little bit more eye-driven.
Who doesn't want to see them make out? Like, I wanted that match to be a little bit more, if it's like your best friend turn blood sort of feud, and I was like, yeah.
But yeah,
I'm surprised it main evented, but I guess Tony coming out makes sense. But I don't think, again, y'all correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think she's Sure Cow is full time or like 8
right. Yeah,
they're not going to put a belt on her.
Yeah, I think she's a crossover from New Japan. Stardom,
because that's where her and Mariah made. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm wondering if she did cut her promo before or after the match with Harley, or I hope she talks on Rampage next week just to kind of get like a motivation. And like Toni is so good on the mic and her character and all that stuff. Like I want to hear her talk. I'm ready to like. What's the motivation of this?
No, yeah, it'll be really interesting. Excuse me. It'll be real interesting to see where this goes. You know, what's next? Again, with the three of them, I like, you know, a triple threat still looms. I'd love to see that because the women's title, this has been the most interesting storyline in AEW, especially in the women's division.
Yeah.
But maybe in general. So let us know in comments below what you think. But we're going to wrap up this segment.
We're running along.
Yeah, we are moving along. Nikki, we talked about it. This show is about Saturday night's main event. We are previewing it. This is an old school show. We're returning back the clocks a little bit. There's going to be 5 of these, I think. I counted or heard this whole year.
Cool.
Nikki's News reported a couple weeks ago. I think it's 5.
I thought it was it going to be like, there was this one, then they were going to do it quarterly, so it will be 5 this year because they're going to do a second one. I think we're in March. I don't know, go back and watch the video of me talking about this. I don't remember what I said. Yeah. Anyways.
But yeah, so we will get through our predictions for the evening. So we'll start with, there's 5 matches on the card.
Which I love.
Yeah, again, we love those short-ish pay-per-views. It gives everyone, I think, enough amount of time to tell their story, finish their story, might I say. So, again, we said it was an old-school feel to this. So, that being said, we're bringing back an old-school personality. Jesse Ventura is returning to the commentary booth for Saturday night's main event. So, Nikki, I guess we've talked about, with Joe Tessitore being on Raw the last month, what our expectations were of him. Now you have an old school announcer returning to the booth. What are your expectations for Jesse Ventura's return to commentary?
I'm excited about it. I'd be so interested to hear his take on, obviously, wrestling is so different. Like, in-ring wise, the style is so different than what it was back then. I think he has a personality for days. The only thing, honestly, last night ruined it, or maybe this morning ruined it for me a little bit, because I constantly say every podcast that Nick and I put wrestling on to go to sleep to, and it was Royal Rumble 91, and it was Vince and him on commentary, and it felt real icky.
It was kind of brutal.
It was, again, it was not great. Yeah. And I just feel like, I'm assuming Cole is going to be on commentary with him. It's going to be him and Cole.
Probably, yeah. That would seem
I feel like
the most vintage announcer you have to put.
Cole.
Unless you're bringing in, no, everyone else is
Like, it's not gonna be him and Joe. It's gonna have to be.
Reminds me of that scene from Major League. This other guy here is dead. Cross him off the list then. That's kind of how I feel. Like Earl Monsoon gone.
No.
Jim Ross, you can't. Is he? Yeah. Like,
Did you just say that Jim Ross dead?
No, not Jim Ross. Jim Ross you can't bring in. Obviously, he's not dead. I know he's not dead.
Oh God.
But like,
Yeah, Gorilla, Bobby.
yeah, like
they're all
there's really
wrestling.
not many options left.
Yeah, so I assume Cole. So I'm hoping like Cole would, steer him. Again, I just keep the politics out of my wrestling. But I'm so interested to see on what he says about like him on Gunther or like what he thinks of Finn Balor. I think it would be so interesting. I just hope like whoever's with him, again, assuming Cole, to keep him moving along.
Yeah. I think he's gonna be the color guy. He's got to be the color
obviously
guy.
he's caught. Yeah.
But yeah, what do you all think? Are you excited? This is again for us older wrestling fans. This is gonna be a kind of a fun element to the show. It's gonna make it, a little bit nostalgic.
Yeah.
There, I said that word. Did that good. So, Nikki, we move on to the actual card.
Yeah.
There is 5 matches. We discussed it. We're gonna try and get into it. So we open with the World Heavyweight Championship because this is what I figured. It's probably got the most hype around this match. And Nikki, there's one thing about the World Heavyweight Championship. What we've learned in the last couple of months, and I know you've been waiting for this.
You told me you have something planned, so I'm here for
You
it.
and I know this. Everybody wants to rule the world.
Welcome to your life. There's no turning back. Even while we sleep, we will find you acting on your best behavior. Turn your back on Mother Nature. Everybody wants to rule the world.
Nikki, are you ready?
Yes, let's get controversial up in here.
So let's start before you offer your predictions with, first off, how would you book this match? How do you want to see it go?
I hope it opens, to be honest, but maybe you're going to open with a women's match. Yeah, I think it's because, again, it was I don't want to say last second, but they announced on Raw that Pierce was like, oh, you want to mess with Priest? We're adding Priest to this match. Now go. I think, again, it's the slowly turning Gunther babyface.
Well, I agree with that statement because, like, again, if you're going to make him the best wrestler, we're the best wrestler. If you're going to do that, then, yeah, like, he should be, like, if his gimmick is the best wrestler, like, I don't want a heel wrestler. Like, a heel should be someone who's not the best and uses those tactics to be the best. So for him, yeah, that makes sense to me. And like moving on, I think you have the storyline of the Judgment Day in this match. This has been the overarching storyline for the last 3-4, really the last year plus. But now the Priest Balor storyline, they have their one-on-one match. Now you finally put the world title around them, which I've been clamoring for a while around this feud, because this is the most storyline driven feud that could use it. I love this idea of now you have these 3 in this match. And kind of to go back to your point, my question about this match is, you talked about Gunther potentially, turning face, and it seems like it's kind of going in that direction. He's pushed Kaiser a little bit away to be his own man, right?
I think Kaiser pushed himself away.
He
who was it that made it was like, oh, his stock is going down. You might want to leave while the getting's good.
I think it was Priest that said that to him.
Was it?
Or maybe it was Braun Breaker. It was Braun Breaker or Priest.
Breaker. Yes, it was him. It was like, I think they're slowly, as much as I love them together, and I want to see all the pictures of them double dating. But I think it makes sense to kind of push them away because I love Kaiser. I'm ready to see him and Breaker fight forever. But I think it makes sense to kind of distance himself from each other.
Okay, so you've made that point for them to distance themselves. However, I would make the contrary point. Could we see Ludwig Kaiser turn on Gunther, similarly as to how Balor turned on Priest for the same World Heavyweight title? And hear me out on this.
No, you're feeding into my.
But maybe. But like again, we're just here to throw out ideas and potential predictions. To me, you could set up a whole other feud similar to what we've just seen, and it's the next phase of this kind of Judgment Day. Like it's Judgment Day, not adjacent. It's connected to the thread of Judgment Day and builds out further. Like it's that same similar storyline of here's two guys that his loyal right hand man now screwed him over because he doesn't want his help, and that wasn't the game plan or whatever it was. Also, to that point, crazy as it sounds, could see a booking where Kaiser still screws over or tries to screw over Gunther, doesn't, and maybe that's a world title match in the future. Not that Kaiser's going to win, but maybe that's a world title match that comes up that, hey, now you've betrayed me, and that's a feud that instead of keeping Kaiser in the mid-card with Braun Breaker, maybe, in his match with Braun Breaker, whenever he gets his one-on-one, that's where Gunther shows up or repays the favor, so to speak. And again, it's a storyline that helps elevate WWE. I've said this for a while now, for the last year since we've had the show. It's a singles star-oriented business. So for them, it's not to build up stables, it's to build up single stars. So in this situation, you have Kaiser. It's an opportunity.
Well, I didn't even think of, because I don't know if you want to get to it, but I'm going out on a crazy limb and saying Finn's taking this belt. There's rumors that he's supposed to get this big push. I think, did you insert Priest so Finn can pin Priest so Gunther still looks good, but then Gunther goes on the spot, then he's like, he has to change his ways, or he's on this other different track to get this belt back from Finn. I feel like Finn Balor has been done dirty. I cried when he had to relinquish that United States Championship. Universal. Again, that ugly red belt. And again, it sucks that it's my Seth Rollins. I did it as much as I love Seth. I just feel like Finn is so due on the main roster for the belt. And again, same what I said with DIY and your heel and face bullshit that put it on the baddie, let the good and chase till we get to Mania. So what is that Priest? Is that Gunther? Do we add Seth? Do we add Punk? Punk Finn? I'm not mad at that at all.
I love that.
Again, I don't, as much as I love Gunther, adore Gunther, incredible. Is this a quick turnaround? Is this something different? Does Kaiser get involved that mirrors what happened? You lost the belt the same way you won the belt? That's something interesting. But I'm weirdly, again, if Gunther wins and keeps it, also happy. If they put it on Finn, great. I think Damian, again, the baby chasing, I think is going to be fine, but I think this is going to be a great match, to be honest. But I'm going to go Finn Balor.
Well, Steve agrees with you. He says Finn, Prince, Priest, then thanks Judgment, and sets up Gunther, Finn, one-on-one for Rumble at the least.
I'm here for all that.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I tend to disagree. I think Gunther, I think that scenario I presented where Kaiser potentially screws over Gunther but doesn't succeed sets itself up for another match at the Rumble, which is Kaiser's the perfect transitional challenger for the Rumble to get Gunther to Mania. A little bit of enough of a feud storyline and built-in storyline to get to Mania. So to me, when we get to our picks, wrong one. I'm picking Gunther. Nikki's picking Balor. Let us know in the chat who you got. Steven already let us know he's got Balor.
And then also Finny 2 belts.
Ed's got Finn.
Yeah, Finny 2 belts.
Obviously, he's there to get the pin. I guess win the pin. I'm assuming he means win. So it seems like everyone's against me on this one. Well,
Again,
don't worry. I
really
support you, Gunther.
Again, I wouldn't, if either of them win, I'm a happy girl. But what if they put that, again, they just feel like there's going to be a lot of kind of title changes going into the Rumble season and obviously going into Mania. I think we're going to spice things up a bit. And I'm not mad at this.
Well,
Finny 2 belts.
we will see if there is a Finny 2 belts.
Ed agreed. Like, what if
He's got Gunther. Javier's joining me.
if he didn't take that buckle bomb and fuck up his arm shoulder, and they always count, he's the first Universal Champion. He had it for 30 seconds. Like, what would have that have been? Again, he was so hot back then. Like, he was Triple H's boy, the NXT call up, like, good looking, good on the mic, like, baby face, go to the moon. And then again, Al said it. Go watch our interview with Al now. He does not like the buckle bomb because you're throwing people and you can't see where you land.
Good promos.
As much as you know.
Look at you promoting the show. Well, again, Nikki and I disagree on this one. Just to recap,
all right,
she's got Finn. I know. She's got Finn. I've got Gunther. We move along to match 2, which will be
Electric Boogaloo.
Sami Zayn, just recently announced, Sami Zayn and Drew McIntyre, which, again, we talk about storyline-driven PLEs. This is very storyline-driven, very CM Punk-related, very Bloodline-related. So if you missed it on Raw, actually, Drew explained why he attacked Sami Zayn, and I can't disagree.
And I turned on Survivor Series. And I saw Roman Reigns standing side by side with CM Punk. And who was by their side? Sammy, Jimmy, Jay, with their stupid fingers in the air. After everything they know, Roman just snaps his fingers, they put their tail between their legs, they run right by his side. At least CM Punk took a bribe. They all sold out for absolutely nothing. That's when it was clear. That's when I knew I had to come back. That's when I knew I was going to take out Sammy.
So,
Chef's kiss.
I know. Again, it's that like in between facey, heely stuff they're justified in their actions. I love it. So, Nikki, thoughts and who you got?
That again. Drew MVP of 2024. This man has done no wrong on the mic. Again, Javier, I actually have to agree with you. Like, obviously, Drew is winning this. Again, MVP. He actually really needs this win. Sammy can eat pins all fucking day. It does nothing either way because it's Sammy's the underdog from the underground. Doot. And it's fine. Look at it. Like, he can take away and be like, gosh,
I hate how he smiles so much.
gosh darn it.
I'm just happy to be here to get my ass kicked.
Basically, but Drew needs to come in. I would honestly, I am a fan of Sammy. I do love Sammy, but wouldn't it be just like one claim, like a Bill Goldberg Brock thing, just like one Claymore,
And walk out.
like a Future Shock Claymore, and just leave like a little squashy squash. Again, Sammy can eat the pin, but like Drew needs like a moral victory, an actual victory. Drew all day.
I agree. Again, the hero of 2024, the unsung hero of 2024, great promos. Drew's done a phenomenal job. I honestly, you've sold me on that. I would love to see Sammy just get torn through because Drew on Busted Up Radio, kind of just to paraphrase it, basically said like the industry I've been giving, and now I'm going to start taking. And I love that idea. I love him being the lone, I don't want to say, sorry, Baron Corbin, the lone wolf type idea, and just going through like, hey, I've been screwed over by all these people, like whether it's CM Punk, if you're a friend of CM Punk's, you're an enemy of mine. If you're a friend of the Bloodline, you're an enemy of mine. And like, I have no friends. You've screwed me over for too long. I love that idea. So to me, again, Drew came back. He's cutting a great promo. He's white hot with momentum. Nikki and I agree on this. I think the Scottish psychopath is going to take this one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Javier thinks Sammy can lose every match and be fine, probably.
Seriously.
And smile doing it. So, Nikki, we move along to now the women's world heavyweight title. Io Sky's been the number one contender for a little while now.
Mm-hmm.
Again, the build-up, a lot had to do with War Games. She did the garbage can spot off the top. Not a tremendous build-up for these two in this match. But overall, I think it's a very much a situation where Liv Morgan is going to have to challenge herself. She's going to be tested, battle-tested with a warrior.
Your heart's still wild, shooting at the walls of heartache. Bang, bang, I am the warrior. Well, I am the warrior, and heart to win. If you survive, the warrior.
Nikki, what are you thinking, and who do you have?
For me, it's obvious Liv is retaining. She's taking that belt to Mania with Rhea. I think it's going to be a good match because, again, like, Io was so good in the ring, and like Liv is beyond what she was when she first walked in this door. Again, I think it's going to be a fun match. Again, I hope they're working on how Io takes the Oblivion, because we've talked about this, how like some people can't take it. Like, Rhea got to the point where she sells it so beautifully. Like, Ronda couldn't do it. She hit it on Io 2 weeks ago on Raw. Didn't look great. So I hope they work on that. But again, Liv's coming.
I think, to be honest, I don't have any concerns because Io is a phenomenal wrestler, and she's closer to Liv's size, so I think that'll look better. I think this is if that's your concern, that move particularly, I think this is going to be one of the best wrestlers, whatever, to take this move. And that's really not my concern. So now, my question about this match, I only have one question, because, again, we talked about betrayals earlier. Could Dakota... Ooh, crap, wrong one. Oh, no, I guess I don't have it. But could Dakota Kai turn on Io Sky? Because, again, she was excluded from the War Games match. There is, Bailey's kind of looming, and she's kind of friends with Bailey. Damage Control's a face group. She just returned. There's some...
No, because Dakota Kai is in the IC title tournament, and then I don't see them turning her heel in that tournament. Maybe post tournament. I don't see. Again, it's too much Big Show flip flop, snip snap. Like, no.
I don't know. I feel like a lot of it is just trying
because I don't
trying to get somebody over.
I know Dakota and like Liv had that match, but I don't see. Again, I could be wrong. I wouldn't be a fan if she came out and cost Io the match. Because then again, it's another, like, she doesn't need Dakota coming. She has Raquel, and then you have Rhea. Like, you want to insert another person to screw over the challenger so Liv wins?
No, that's a fair point.
Seems too much.
Fair enough. So, I mean, again, it's a wrinkle in the storyline. I like to just throw curveballs out there to see. But ultimately...
Dakota.
Nikki and I agree that Liv Morgan is going to retain. So there is 2 women's matches scheduled for tomorrow evening. So it brings us into what will be the final 4 participants. Now, we're filming this again, taping this before SmackDown at 8, so there's still 2 matches left. Mm-hmm. So the final 4 participants in the Women's United States title tournament are Tiffany Stratton, Bayley, Michin, which I may have spelled wrong, and Chelsea Green. So, Nikki, my question is, again, who wins the United States Championship? So again, we have a 25% chance of getting this right as of this taping. So I'm just throwing that out there that I think it's a little bit more impressive if we get this right.
I've been saying it since the tournament became, when Nick Aldis said this belt was going to be a thing. It's Chelsea Green. They quickly backtracking before you talk. GCW pitched a match between Matt and Chelsea versus Joey Janela and someone Megan Bain, somebody. But WWE said nah, and people are speculation station that it's because they're putting this belt on her, and I think. Again, she's that chicken shit heel, but everyone loves that. Like, again, like people like wanted the tag belts on her, wanted the briefcase on her. She just would elevate it so much because she has such a personality, such charisma. Like, I just think of her in Money in the Bank when she just like afraid of heights, just like got pushed off through the table. Like, she's such a company person and is game for anything. And I think this would be. It's well deserved, and I think she would really elevate it.
Fair enough. I love Chelsea Green as well, and I could see what you're getting at with like her Piper as her like heavy with her like just like helping her be that heel. But ultimately, I just don't see it happening. To me, I think it's going to be an established wrestler on the roster. And to me, the most established person back, because I don't see Tiffany winning it and carrying the briefcase like they used to with like US champions and stuff like that. It makes more sense to just have her win the title outright than just claim this first US women's title defense. So to me, that leaves, I know Mishin's in it, but it only leaves one option, and that's Bayley. Bayley is my pick to win the Women's United States Championship for the first, the inaugural.
We'll get to this at a later date, but briefly, I think with the women's IC belt on Raw, I think they're going to put that on an established person, and I think this is the one you put on kind of like the fresher face, the newer. I don't necessarily think you're like. I don't want to go too far down because we want to run through this, but I think you're wrong. And Chelsea's winning, and I can't wait to laugh at you on Sunday. Well,
Sunday we will be back recapping this, so we can definitely get to the bottom of it. Steven's saying Tiffy will cost Bayley in the semis, and Bayley will in turn cost Tiffy in the finals. So I don't know. He's not really saying who's winning, but
Chelsea Green
could be. But let us know in the comments below. So, Nikki, we move along.
Punch the microphone.
We have a main event match on the evening. Let's get to it. Friends,
countrymen
turn enemies. They were torn. But Nikki, since we're closing with this on the evening, before we take calls, we'll open up the phone lines very shortly. Talking's done, right? Now they have to settle it. Talk it. No more talking. Just don't speak.
I know just what you're saying, so please stop explaining. Don't tell me 'cause it hurts. Don't think I know what you're thinking. I don't need your reason. Don't tell me 'cause it hurts.
And we're back. Nikki, let's get to the main event. Saturday night's main event. The main event, and that's say that quickly. So how do you expect this to go down? How would you book it?
So rumors and speculation station is that Cody's coming out with that winged eagle belt to do a throwback.
Yes, I did not get the. There was a video released on WWE's YouTube page a couple days ago that yes, he opens up a big gigantic case.
Oh, it's like when
which I thought might be the sledgehammer, but it's golden.
I think it's when the Mania match between Kofi and Bryan Danielson, whatever. And then the New Day, like Big E and Woods brought out the surprise. It clearly was a belt to give him back the old belt. It's clearly a belt. The speculation, obviously, is the winged eagle. Your big, again, like Saturday Night's Main Event, rewatching those, like it's all Hulk Hogan, it's all your beautiful company guy babyface. Here's the nostalgia belt. Cody's winning. If this is your main event and you're bringing in, hopefully to get, it's on.
Is this for the belt?
Yeah, right?
It hasn't been confirmed. Like I couldn't confirm it. It's just that they're battling it out on the website, so I haven't been able to confirm it.
Anywho, it's on Peacock, it's on NBC, and apparently I think they said it was free on YouTube internationally. So you're not going to try to bring all these new eyes on your product and have your main event and have your company blue-eyed, blonde-haired babyface lose. Cody's winning.
So before I get to my prediction, I have one last question. So you're talking about baby faces, right?
Because you're all about it.
I'm all about baby faces and heels. So my question is, will we see a Randy Orton make his return and potentially interfere? Remember, the last time we saw him, he got the most vicious pile driver in history of professional wrestling, but the safest. We were all about safe wrestling here. So he was pile drive by Kevin Owens. Me personally, I told you about Survivor Series, how I thought it could be a triple threat match between the three of them. I still think that match is coming, just similar like what we saw with the World Heavyweight title. Probably at Rumble. So to me, I could totally 100% see Randy Orton make his return. Do you see the same?
I wouldn't be surprised because there's also rumors that his daddy, Bob Orton, is going to be there. And his dad was a heel, ran around with Roddy, was Roddy's, right-hand man and helping him like cast forever. And then there was that run when Randy was heel and running around with his dad when the Legend Killer days when he was with had to do with Undertaker. So would teaming up with his dad maybe turn him more a little heel? Maybe he gets involved, but not necessarily to save Cody or Kevin. Just be like, hey, I like that belt. Winged Eagle belt that meant so much. That wasn't on me. My Nutella big boy body.
See, like me, I think it would be more he's pushed into that match reluctantly because he wants to beat up KO for pile driving him and injuring him. So like he's reluctantly in that match, but it's kind of like the Kyle O'Reilly, Adam Cole situation on Dynamite, where like they both want to fight, and similar storyline could be written differently, and where they both want to fight MJF. So it's like I want this guy first, and the only way is like you're both going to get him at the same time, and to me that kind of makes sense on that front. So I don't know. I mean, ultimately, Nikki, when I ask you who you got, you mentioned
Boy's not losing on main event on NBC national programming. You're not having your boy lose. As much as I love KO.
I think it's fair. It's a fair point. But to me, this storyline is not ending tomorrow night.
No.
So that being said, there has to be something to further the storyline. Now, there could be something after the bell that happens all the time. But, and again, not knowing whether or not it's for the belt or not, and even if it is for the belt, I don't necessarily disagree with potentially somehow, we said, if Orton comes back, there could be something where he wants to beat up KO so badly that inadvertently causes a DQ loss for Cody Rhodes. And that's what brings in Randy Orton to the storyline. So, to me, Javier's on the show. He's got his tinfoil hats. I'm going to throw out my tinfoil hat theory that I think Kevin Owens wins this match. Doesn't win the belt, but wins this match to keep this storyline moving forward as we head towards Royal Rumble at the very least. So I got KO in this. Not necessarily clean, not winning the belt, but winning the match so he gets another shot at Cody to further along the story. And I think Randy Orton is going to have something to do with that.
I would absolutely love KO to have like a major belt again, but you're not having your boy lose on national, like Hulk Hogan would, that does not work for me, brother.
He's not losing. He's losing because someone else screwed him over. Randy Orton His emotions got the best of him.
I'm not talking again. This is Nikki's non-kayfabe. I am new to the wrestling. I'm turning on the TV. The scary man with the beard and the more tattoos against the blonde good guy.
Against the blonde guy with the neck tattoo.
I know tattoo is not the best way to go, but he has a dinosaur. Again, I'm middle of America, new to wrestling. Who am I in my brains? I'm going to look at Cody and be like, that's going to be the band that wins again. Because we debated of like who was going to take KO, who was going to take Finn. Like I would love KO to take the belt off him. I want a belt on KO so bad. Again, his interview with Cole in the car was hysterical. I love Kevin Owens so much, and I want a belt back on him so soon. But again, you're trying to bring the new people in. You're having your baby faces win. You who are also heel face,
you can still lose. We were just listening. I fell asleep. We woke up at 3 a.m. to Sergeant Slaughter beating Hulk Hogan.
Oh my God!
And they're like, it can't be.
It was.
I don't want him winning the belt, but I'm just saying he can win a match because
Sergeant Slaughter took the belt off Ultimate Warrior. And then Hogan cut a promo, and then they went on a whole vignette of normal people talking about Desert Storm and like wanting our troops home. It got real gross. I don't want politics in my wrestlings, even though I know that's such a trope. But I don't know. To me, you're trying to bring people in. That is your face of your company. You want him standing tall at the end of the pay-per-view. It's not a pay, but end of the show. You want all the fireworks for Cody. Again,
yeah, but he still stands tall if they beat the crap out of KO because KO is the heel. And, even though you lose
on Sunday to see who wins this debate.
Seriously, who wins all of it? Like literally every match because I'm going to win the belt. We're going to have a belt, and I have to.
What?
I'm going to get like the belt out of the. We always have a belt for predictions. Now we need to get that.
Wait, I haven't even brought that up. I don't even know who was a prediction winner in our circle.
Well, we're back Sunday. Oh, it's not 12:13. That's today. Whoops.
That's today. So Sunday, fun day again with
That's 12:15.
6 p.m. as always.
Math is hard. Steiner math.
I know, Steiner. I have half the brain that you do. But we'll be back here on Sunday. We're going to talk all things, what happened on Saturday night's main event. You can tell that I'm going to be right about all the things. And when Chelsea Green is champion, girl, we're going to have some words.
I don't even know. So, that being said, Nikki, are you ready to open up the phone lines?
Always.
All right. Well, let's find the drop first. Oh, there it is. 3, 2, let's roll. All right. I know. We'll get used to that
today.
I mean, don't enjoy that song too long because we're getting new.
Nick is changing everything, and like our intro music is so near and dear to me. And you said you're changing it, and I'm like,
there's new intro music coming for 2025. We're gonna do our New Year's Eve happy hour. That's gonna be fun.
Oh Lord.
Oh, the year in review, as much as we can. Yeah, we're gonna have all new intros. Everyone, all our regulars get new intros. It's a very exciting
I know
time.
Steven's song, and then when Ed's song, like when I hear Ed's song on the actual radio, I sing Darby instead of Zombie, and it's rough.
That's the intention.
I don't want to do it, but it's ingrained in my brains. Beto ba ba ba.
Ba 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 da boop is how
No.
it's properly said.
Excuse me, Steven.
Well, let's just get you in the right frame of mind.
Thank you.
I'm a scat man. I'm a scat
I cracked up.
that Steve, that's her spirit animal. Nikki loves that last answer.
I watch it, I'm like, oh, that one's my favorite. And the next one comes out, I'm like, that's my favorite. And then you see the little Asian girl, and she's like just like shaking. And I'm like, she's my favorite. And the next one comes on, and she's all like this. I was like, no, that's my favorite. I'm gonna be really upset when this goes away. But Steve, we love you immensely.
As I understand it, don't get too attached.
So, Steve, what are you thinking? What are you drinking this evening?
I am thinking, first of all, I don't think they're going to end with Kevin Owens winning the match, because if that show's going on last and Kevin Owens is going to win but not win the title, that means it's either a count out or a DQ, and I don't think they're going to end their first network special in quite some time, with at least 4 more to come, with an indecisive victory like that. I think they want to go for, I mean, remember, this is not only a Saturday night, but it's a Saturday night during the holiday season. Maybe the expectation for a high rating. I mean, ratings on Saturday nights in general are, tend to be not good because people go out. They want to make as good an impression as they possibly can with the audience for the next show, which is sometime next month. I forget which. I think it's during Martin Luther King weekend. I'm not sure. I know it's in January.
It's the weekend, not to cut you off, Steve, but it's the weekend before the Rumble. So the 20 whatever that is.
Okay, I was close. Thank you. But they're going to want to end the first show out of 5 with something decisive.
Mm-hmm.
So, and obviously they're not putting the belt on KO. They want to send everybody home happy. So, Cody wins via pinfall.
So did we confirm that it's for the belt?
I think
they haven't said it. They just said it's a fight, but they haven't said whether or not, because that really drastically impacts.
We're gonna find out tonight. I would hope they would make a decision or spell it out. But I would think the belt would be on the line. They really gonna have what Liz even said, it's your first network special, and how long you're bringing these people in. You're not gonna have the belts on the line, especially if they're bringing back the Winged Eagle, even if it's one night only. You're bringing back this nostalgic belt, but that's not gonna be on the line for your big thing.
Or he just wears it as, again, something else they can
to
sell.
match the wings on his tattoo.
Yeah, basically. No one has to understand it. Steve, what else you got for us?
Okay, new topic that, unless I missed something, hasn't been brought up. I'm not quite sure if this has been confirmed, but it looks like TNA has signed Tessa Blanchard.
Yes.
We slightly glossed over it. What are your feelings on it, Steve?
Well, I think Tessa Blanchard is a really good performer. I liked her during her initial run in TNA. And then, there were some incidents outside of the ring or off TV.
Mm-hmm.
And what was this? We're talking maybe 4 years ago now, I believe. Maybe.
Yeah.
I would like to believe, remember, she ended with TNA, and now TNA is re-signing her. I would like to think that she has maybe changed her ways in that time, since she's been sitting at home or in Mexico thinking about it, and she is remorseful, and that is why TNA is giving her another chance. I don't think she really needs to publicly apologize for anything. That would certainly help, as long as she's privately apologized to those she offended, including TNA, including any individuals. As long as that has happened, I think she deserves a second chance. Although Jordan Grace is certainly right to be wary of having a program with her in her last few weeks in the company to put her over.
Right. And that's so, again, so to Steve's point, just kind of touch on. So Tessa Blanchard is rumored to be signed with TNA. Now,
to have the program with Jordan before Jordan goes to WWE.
right. So, which would have been to me, that's money to me. But the reports are that Jordan doesn't want to work with Tessa for one reason or another. So, it is interesting. Again, it's a money match to me. But, like, I think Jordan Grace is going to WWE. Everyone kind of knows that's the worst kept secret in wrestling at this point. And for her, it's her own brand. I don't know that she needs to, but again, if you're trying to leave the company that you just left and help make you a star to go to WWE, to me, I know personal feelings aside, like that's a money match for TNA to have, and you put them both in the ring together, like it's straight money. I would buy a pay-per-view just to see those two headline it, and a company like that sometimes struggles to get the big buys. I think it's the right thing, whether or not I get it. Like, you have personal feelings, but it's the right thing on the company side of things. But again, these wrestlers are their own individual contractors. So I don't blame her for saying, no, that doesn't work for me, sister.
To play devil avocado, I feel like they're bringing Tessa, because obviously Jordan's leaving, so they want to bring Tessa in to be like that kind of bigger name, powerhouse kind of person. And to me, it's like TNA, not besides Masha, who I feel like there's not, the women's division's not.
Last I remember is like Angelina Love was phenomenal. Angelina Love, like the whole beautiful
like,
people.
Rosemary's there, and I just feel like, again, it's I just want to shake every booker, like, book your fucking women.
Come on,
please.
Booker Man.
Booker Man. But, like, again, they're bringing back someone old because they haven't brought anyone up to fill the Jordan Grace void.
Would you argue that it's bad creative, Nikki?
Go ahead.
From the bottom of my heart, man to man, fuck your story.
But, and I love you, but I did. But again, like, Bill, there's no, like,
Ash by Elegance, great.
Again, and I miss, like, to go off on a tangent, like, I missed, like, her in NXT when she was, like, kind of like a powerhouse, kind of like the beefy girl, and she lost all that weight in her face. She got all the plastic surgery done, and I don't like it. Anywho, but again, like, you want to fill the Jordan Grace void, and you're putting in someone that's controversial, problematic. Again, like what Steven said, did she apologize to the people that she needed to apologize? Or do the powers that be now at TNA impact TNA with, like, they don't care all the history that happened with her back in 2020 and all the stuff that came out, and they don't, like, here's a name, here's again, I'm not taking anything, she's great in the ring. But are you just like, we're losing this, we're going to plug in that and not build up anybody else?
Yeah, no, yeah, exactly. Like, we need another star. We brought her in. I don't know. Good point. Steve, before we let you run, what's your last shot here?
Quick, thank you for the bell.
We have to keep it wrestling kayfabe.
Quick bit on WWE ID. First of all, real quick, I like that they signed Kylie Ray. But as to one of the other prospects that they've signed, like with the best name ever, Cappuccino Jones.
Oh, yes. I saw that, and I was like, I don't know anything about this guy, but I'm excited.
Wasn't he?
If you're listening, do not change that name.
1,000%.
You don't have to worry about copyright rights, right?
I don't think so. I don't know how that works. I would imagine that they've reached some sort of agreement. Plus, they seem less likely to, put wrestlers' names in the random name generator anymore. You have all the.
I feel like nobody has the rights to cappuccino, right? Like, that's a generalized thing.
You can get so much out of that if you just leave it alone. Do not change it to like, Davy Johnson or whatever.
All right, I want this on the record right now as Steven's saying this, because I know this can get stolen after I say it. But if I'm Tony Khan, book, well, he's too late now, but like you have to wait till he gets out of his contract. Book Cappuccino Jones something with Prince Nana and Swerve with all his coffee drinking and everything else, or book Cappuccino Jones with Prince Nana. That is money.
Or
coffee and bean people together, even though I don't drink any of that.
Or sign Cheeseburger and put them in a tag team together.
Oh, cheeseburger and cappuccino. That sounds awful. Sounds like the worst.
But I feel like someone correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't Cappuccino Joe? Didn't he do something in AEW or Ring of Honor or Rampage or whatever bullshit show they have? Like, what? I feel like he dipped his toes in AEW already. Or am I making that up?
Cheeseburger.
That's a good name. Ed said called them combo meal.
Yeah. The brunch.
Like supersize me or something. That's probably trademarked.
You can get so creative with the move sets and the promos. Mm-hmm. And the merch. Just don't touch that name.
No, agreed. Steve, you're making amazing points today.
Well, Steve, honestly, are you petitioning to manage Cappuccino Jones?
No, they don't want some schmuck like me doing that.
How dare you? But merch, you're Steve. How dare you?
Are you an enthusiast of cappuccino or what is that called? Coffee products, bean-based products?
That's actually ironic because I do not like coffee at all. I prefer tea. But his name isn't T. His name is Bray. So
that listen, you can it's kayfabe. So like it's ironic. But like, hey, some of these guys, like I'm pretty sure Val, not to mention his name, but like wasn't a porn star. Like he doesn't even have to like it. But if you could live the character, you live the gimmick and make and sell it, it works, Steven. You can be the manager. I believe in you. I believe that Steven can be the manager of Cappuccino.
Why'd you bring up porn star?
I know, because I'm saying how like he played his character was a porn star. Val Venus.
You did not say. Okay.
Oh, I didn't want to say his name because I know. Like
you basically said he was like.
Steven's not a porn. Well, I don't know what he does for extra money.
What you do on the side, Steven's your business.
Say his name and he appears.
Whatever you need,
Steve,
whatever you need, Steven takes care of you.
I believe in Joe.
Steven.
Just knock before you come in first.
Well, Steven, I love you so much.
Thank you, Nikki. Thank you.
That thing, I think that there's no better way to end that. Steve, you, sir, are cut off. Unbelievable.
Oh my God.
This is what happens.
Steve immensely.
We'll just run rampant.
Every time.
Yes, Ed, say his name and he appears. Steven does appear.
He does something.
All right. Nikki, are you ready?
Always.
Because we always want to know. I mean, we generally know. But we always want to know. Phone line's still open, but we got to hear from him. His name is Ed, but we want to know what's in his head.
I can't help but laugh. Like I just look so uninterested in Darby Allin. Like
that's what's. Listen, that I will tell you this, that there's some things that are carrying over to the next year, and that is one of them. That photo and that image with Darby in your head, it will live in infamy on this show. And for as long as this show exists, that image will live.
Oh, can you get me but instead of just the image you have of Darby, can it be the one from I think it was Dynamite this week where he slapped himself on the face and he was just like bleeding from the mouth?
If I can find it, yeah. I'd probably find it. They post
what a time
nowadays.
Yeah.
Ed, what are you thinking? What are you drinking?
I mean, it's all right. So I've got me some coffee. I got me some water. I'm trying to hydrate here, trying to keep the energy up. But what am I thinking?
Cappuccino?
No,
No
unfortunately,
cappuccino?
it's a
No
Kris
cappuccino.
Kringle blend from Quick Check. They do free coffee Fridays.
Ooh,
Because yeah, it's fancy.
Oh.
so fancy.
Honestly, what am I thinking? I can't wait for the failed Cappuccino Jones run, and it's not because I don't like him. The name's incredible, but I can't wait to hear Tom Phillips or whatever. I forget what his real name is, but I can't wait for him to show up in TNA, and they're like, "What's Latte Smith doing in the Impact Zone? Like, is that Matcha Johnson? Like, I need that."
Yeah, I really preferred the original blend.
God.
Yeah, I just need more coffee-based wrestlers. Get them in a stable and call them Original Blend.
Oh, actually, this might be money. We
might be money. And you get Cesaro in there too?
Because they all the copy.
Yeah.
And you need to go copyright this immediately.
I think we are cooking.
Listen, we have this written on record, audio on record now. So at least we're all 33.3% owners of the Original Blend faction.
I mean, pro wrestling's greatest what ifs. What if Finn Balor was still champ? What if Cappuccino Jones went to TNA and was called Matcha Johnson? What if Yokozuna got skinny and wore Tim's and jeans?
Cappuccino Jones. Or Decappuccino Jones.
Decappuccino.
Is
that his finisher?
That's exactly what it is. He's
that
not
his finish?
Cappuccino, so he's Decappuccino.
Is that his like Dragon Sleeper finish?
Listen, this guy's making millions of dollars off of us right now, and we're just sitting here like idiots drinking wine and alcohol, and this guy's listening to the show and being like, "That's a good idea." And in 2 months,
two months. Go ahead.
This guy's gonna be the most over guy in at least the ID program.
Yeah, I'm telling you, like he hasn't even debuted. Cappuccino Jones is the GOAT. Like, give him all the belts. Like I just want. I don't even know what he looks like, but I want Cappuccino Jones with all the belts, like Ultimo Dragon. Like I need the Cappuccino Jones Ultimo Dragon picture.
I need one of his matches to be sponsored by Dunkin' Donuts or Starbucks
or Prince Nana.
Ooh.
Special guest referees.
Or what?
No, we should have. This is how we're booking it. Cross branding. One wrestler who is picked, just like we did years ago with Lashley and Umaga. We're going to do the same thing. Starbucks CEO picks a wrestler. Dunkin' Donuts CEO picks a wrestler.
Oh, I hate those.
Special guest referee, Prince Nana. This is book it. This is millions of dollars.
What show is this on?
Our backyard?
Well, listen.
We got space.
It's on Forbidden Coffee. ForbiddenDrinks.com.
Actually, it has
DunkinDonuts.com.
And then, like, I don't know, because it's Cesaro and Seth, like, Claudio, it's the company together.
It's simulcast on Starbucks and DunkinDonuts.com. AEW and I guess NXT. Maybe TNA, depending on if they can get anyone involved.
Listen, I can't wait. I can't wait for Cappuccino Jones here to lock in the Decapinator, and the crowd starts chanting "Brew forever."
That is a
Brew
great
forever.
That is well done.
The crowd is well caffeinated, guys. This is
man,
beautiful.
But the irony in it, it depletes your energy. Oh my gosh. This guy is already a legend. He hasn't wrestled a single match.
Cappuccino Jones, man, to go. Roman Reigns, who?
Listen,
I can't see John Cena.
If Cappuccino Jones does not become at least a champion, I'm going to be really pissed off. Because this will be at least 5 to 10 minutes back in our lives that we will never get back.
I'm telling you right now. Future WrestleMania main event: Oba Femi versus Cappuccino Jones. Easy.
Can Cappuccino Jones be like the official like wrestler, like MVP of this podcast? Like that's our wrestler guy.
He is now
to the end of the earth.
Or here's the real WrestleMania booking. Stone Cold Steve Austin comes out of retirement. Here's how you
Brew.
book
They have a tag
No.
team called Cold Brew.
Cold Brew. Oh well, they could do Cold Brew, and you could break up Cold Brew. Cold Brew gets broken up for WrestleMania. Okay, here's how you do it. Right? But hear me out. So this is what happens. Cappuccino beats his ass up, and then Stone Cold, in Hulk Hogan fashion, somehow, because he's been drinking so much, gets a hold of a cappuccino. And Popeye Hulk Hogan like booking just comes back and just literally just stuns.
Holy shit. Yo, okay.
That's how you book it.
No, but I wanted them as a tag team as Cold Brew first.
Yeah.
Brew forever.
Like,
All brewed out.
oh, Steven! The Coffee Brothers.
All Starbucks Wrestling, yes.
What was this last one?
And I forgot about the coffees. I absolutely...
No.
Hey, there it is.
No.
Samoan spike the like, super kick the subscribe button. You already know what it is.
Ooh, super. That's a
Nobody else is doing it like us.
No. And if you don't put
Double
Steven thing on,
count.
you're killing me. Cappuccino Jones versus Joe Coffey. Hello.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
Like
And Joe's got a brother Matt. Like there are like they were a tag team as the Coffees.
Steven's already copywriting that double cap on a pole match.
then who's the third Gallus person? I thought it was the Coffee Brothers, and then we'll.
Oh, that's such a good one, Steven.
That's
That's
what
what
I'm
Mr.
saying.
T. Mr. T, though.
Is Mr. T still alive?
That's a good question.
Yes, and he wants you to love your mother
Oh my god.
on Mother's Day.
I never thought about doing this, but now because we've talked about like 3 to 4 people who might be dead, I have to do a drop. I really think that there has to be a major league drop on this show.
No drops.
Like I don't know. I'm getting these vibes that it might make sense.
Listen, I can't get over the Steve Austin Cappuccino Jones tag team called Cold Brew.
Oh,
They
boy.
end up splitting up. They main event WrestleMania, and then at some point get back together. And when they do the best friends hug.
Oh my! And then it just like zoomed in.
Yeah, and the whole crowd, just 100,000 people, just brew forever.
Oh my god! Why are we not on?
Wait,
creative?
what a shame that Irish coffee is with hard liquor and not beer, right? I think so. I guess you can make
Yeah,
it.
no, but traditional Irish coffee is coffee and Jameson.
Yeah, so
If
like,
you're gonna talk Irish drinks with me, honey, don't forget who you're married to.
Oh my!
excuse me, but
You just said too bad Irish coffee is just Jameson.
yeah, because for this gimmick, it would work if it was beer. If it was beer, it'd be perfect. You know, like
And then you're doing Irish car bombs.
Yeah, but I mean, don't you remember that Austin promo when he was going, "I'm gonna have 1 beer, what? 2 beers, what? A shot of tequila, what?" Like he just
Ed,
ran it down.
Ed.
And I'm not even drunk
Thank
yet.
you, Ed.
Hell yeah.
Ed, you were talking about drops. Thank you, Ed. Do you have 30 seconds of your life we can give back to you? We're gonna give you 30 seconds of fun.
Ordered a jalapeno burger, a chicken fried steak sandwich, a chili cheese dog with extra onions, French fries, tater tots, washed it down with 1 beer, 2 beers, 3 beers, a shot of whiskey, a margarita, and a Bloody Mary.
Oh,
A lot of requests for the bar.
My
Yeah, it was
stomach.
that. That sounds like a terrible night.
It really
It
is.
sounds like a fantastic night, a terrible morning.
Yes.
Yeah, seriously. Oh. Or a really terrible early morning.
All of it.
I don't know how you-
Holy shit! Does Cappuccino Jones have like a brainbuster finish as well, called like the percolator?
We need to rate this man's
This
life.
guy, like,
Oh,
really-
this guy needs a rear naked choke called like the automatic drip or something. Like I need. Oh, this is
seriously, there's
Cappuccino
like,
Jones is the goat. I don't care. Like
listen,
He's our
listen,
favorite
Uncle
wrestler of all time.
Uncle Howdy found us, so I'm pretty sure Cappuccino Jones can find us
Put
somehow.
it out there, our love. Oh, shit!
his promos have no filter. Let's go.
Oh my god.
Unbelievable.
Cut this and send this to that man. We're like, we got you,
Oh.
honey.
Oh, that is a good one. That's a good one, Steve. Touche. Ed, we've talked a lot about coffee and
Sorry.
coffee-based product.
Coffee-based wrestling.
Before we let you go,
The cafe community.
listen, if we don't get a sponsorship by at least one alcohol company or at least a coffee company by the end of this, I'm going to be pretty pissed off.
What are we doing this for if that's the case?
Yeah, like, seriously.
Throw us out right now.
Listen, I don't have my camera at a Dutch angle for nothing, all right?
Yeah, like unbelievable. Like, we're literally, we would do this for free. Just give us some free stuff.
Price is wrong, bitch.
Little Happy Gilmore.
They're making a sequel and MJF is in it, and I
know, it's very
Yeah,
exciting.
they just wrapped filming in we talked about this last week that Steven's friend saw them ish. But North Jersey, holler. The rumors is that Adam Sandler said it's supposed to be out mid-July. So we'll see.
fingers crossed if it's good. Fingers crossed that this story with Adam Cole and MJF and Roddy and Kyle O'Reilly is good. I don't know. I somehow like skipped all of Dynamite except for Darby slapping himself in the face and then bleeding. Which like, hey, copyright infringement on Mox here. What are you doing?
And I feel like you woke up biologically. Like, you probably fell asleep and you're like brain
Darby,
stuck on.
like,
Yeah,
you.
it's like this is gonna happen and you need to see this for yourself.
The Aleister Black entrance just like
Darby's on my screen.
it's completely sound effect. No, I actually got a
Ed has an automatic, like, when you know those hospital beds that lift you up, but he doesn't actually have one. It just automatically does that whenever Darby Allin is on the TV. He's like, "Ooh."
It's actually
it's half of the bed.
oh, it's funny you said that. That's actually me with Max Caster. Like, holy shit, get that guy off my TV.
See, I don't have problems with him that much. I don't really.
That guy is horribly cringy.
Yeah, no, I agree with that on this one.
Horrible rapper, worst wrestler.
He got
Get out
John
of
Cena
here.
for a while, and then he somehow got over.
Did he get? I mean, like, I guess like the Scissor Me thing was good, but like, does anybody care about the Acclaim anymore? Anybody?
No, they made the boat 9 months ago. And that's being generous.
Also, I know you guys talked about it earlier, but I was here, I was gone. You know, one of those things. What's going on with Toni Storm?
Oh,
I don't. Again,
They
we briefly talked about it. Like, I understand wanting to close the chapter on Timeless Toni Storm. Don't want to run the thing to the grid. Like, it ended high. She lost a match at Wembley and she walked out into the streets. You never saw her again. And then she came back as this. And I don't know if this is to like fuck with Mariah May, like kind of like this is how I had you, and you're now the champion, and like roles reverse sort of thing. I just want to see Toni move forward, not necessarily back. Like, I don't want this sort of that's what she was in WWE, then left, and then she became this. Like, I want to.
Yeah.
I hope this is more mind games and not reverting back to old Toni.
it's
Like,
interesting because like this is like literally like Javier made a great point. Like, this was the WWE's character of Toni Storm or whatever indie character maybe.
I mean, it was her. It's the character she's been running for years, and I feel like she was doing like not just like career work for herself, but that was like an all-timer character. Like, that was easily the best thing on that show.
mhm.
Too bad only 500 people saw it. But like, holy crap, was it good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are we doing with this? Like,
So
I just-
this is like a mind game. I hope there's still a little bit of time, like maybe not coming out in the black and white and the old Hollywood glam, but I hope, like Nick alluded to, maybe like a 3 Faces of Foley thing. Like, is this
Be like her own
like
personal
a
character struggle.
personality thing? I just love to be like, this is a mind game, not and more strategic and mindful than like, oh, I'm just gonna be old Toni.
okay,
Like, I
hold
want
on.
it to be an evolution and move forward, not so many steps backward.
Gotcha. Okay, so if we're gonna go 3 Faces of Foley, does Luther also get 3 Faces of Foley?
No,
No, you don't want like the Dr. Luther out there just blah. No,
Luther barely gets one face of.
I honestly forgot. He was such an integral part, but I honestly forgot about Luther.
how dare you forget about the inventor of the Lion's Cult, Dr. Luther?
Is he a guy who just like completely got like coattailed of Jericho and just like literally like you're getting a pay. He is the Brutus the Barber Beefcake of AEW.
How dare you say that about DPW original Dr. Luther?
I thought you were gonna say how dare you say that about Brutus the Barber Beefcake.
No. No, Luther was a big like the hardcore, like I don't want to say deathmatch guy, but he was a name in Japan in like the early to mid 90s.
Mhm.
And I'm not kidding when I like, and you know, Jericho had said it before too that he essentially not stole, but he asked Luther if he could start using the lion salt because that was the thing Luther was doing.
Interesting.
Also,
Well,
like actual like Luther kind of talks, like has like that surfer, like a surfer voice, like a California like.
He was I wish I could remember. I wish I could remember the name of the promotion. Because it never actually got like off the ground. But he played a preacher. Like he had hair, played a preacher.
I could
But yeah, that like if you've ever heard Kenny Omega talk about there was a promotion they were doing tapings for that he like went to do like a house show dive and crashed into a chandelier. There's footage of that, and one of the other characters was Luther as this like preacher who's like one of the main antagonists.
Well, yeah, I mean, again, he could be. He is another wrinkle in the storyline. So with Tony Storm. So we never know how that could all play. Like, could he turn?
I was gonna say, or like if you don't do anything with him, that's fine. But like, team her up with her husband. The hell's his name?
No, he got injured.
Yeah,
He
he
just
got
got
injured.
surgery on his fibula.
Did he?
Yeah.
I didn't know where he went. Like
He was injured, came back, and broke his fibula. Which, like,
Why can't Juice Robinson and Orange Cassidy be a tag team? Like Squeeze Juice.
Yo, Orange Juice.
Orange Juice, yeah, Orange Juice, yeah.
Orange Juice versus Cold Brew.
Yeah, I missed that one.
oh my god!
Night one of WrestleMania. Let's go.
Versus who?
I said that's your WrestleMania main event is Orange Juice versus Cold Brew.
Oh my gosh.
Look at Tony!
No, don't book it. Oh, no, Tony wouldn't book it. That's the problem. He'd end up bringing like Luigi Primo back and have him like throwing pizza dough.
No, he'd book it, but he'd book it like he just put it. He'd book it for like Rampage.
Dream match, Rampage main event.
Yeah, dream match never seen before on Rampage at 10:30 at night.
11:15 p.m.
Yeah,
Yeah.
enjoy, guys.
Yeah,
But-
now
Sickos.
he's injured.
Yeah, he's all juiced out.
I think that's also what led to like kind of the more Jay White face turn that he
Is
lost.
he a face? I don't even know what's happening.
Because not Colton, who's the other one from the Gun Club?
Austin?
Billy Gunn. Yeah. Austin's injured, so that's why you haven't seen them. And then Juice got re-injured, had surgery, and now it's just Jay.
So you know that like everyone's gonna be ready to go, and we're never gonna hear about Bullet Club Gold or the Bang Bang Gang ever again. They're just gone.
You might argue that Juice has been beaten to a pulp.
Hey. Real excited for real excited for that 4-way too, by the way. Zero build, just like, hey, I'm gonna fight 3 other dudes. Honestly, Mox should just walk in there, pack and smoke them, start cutting that like I'm a sick guy promo again and start stabbing dudes. Like
Well, there's gonna be a lot of craziness in that whole feud, but like again, yeah, the build. No one really expects him to drop the title to anybody in that group. It seems like a way of just saying, "Hey, Jay, like I'm gonna put you in the main event scene because you signed here." Like these guys, like a lot of the guys, like Hangman, like you're an original. We're gonna, yeah. So
I don't love it.
yeah, it's not the greatest.
I know that's why we really. I know you kept saying it's like, oh, because we want to talk about Saturday Night, but like we glossed over.
I know a lot of AEW, but I mean, next week will probably be more AEW. But Ed, because we know you love AEW. But before we let you go, let's.
I want it to be good. Hey, don't say that. It's like. It just,
I know.
The problem is their biggest star works for another company. Like
Yeah.
But
They love me.
Are you talking about who I think you're talking about?
Bye. Mwah. And good night, bang.
No.
no, I'm talking about Punk.
Yeah. I was like, I knew you meant Punk, and I was like,
Yeah.
Oh,
Come
well,
on.
I thought you were talking about.
Jack Perry's entire gimmick is I got CM Punk fired.
Yeah.
yeah. And well, that's one other thing that now it's Ziggy's brother, but that's a whole situation for another day.
Yeah, again.
We're 15 minutes out from SmackDown.
I know. We're 15 minutes out. Ed,
We love
let's
you.
give you
Love you too.
your proper due, your last shot.
Yeah, Darby Allin sucks.
He said the thing.
He did the thing. We love you.
Ed, as usual, Ed with a classic call. And we're appreciative.
He's a real ring-a-ding-dong dandy. Thanks, guys.
It's a real ring-a-dong dandy. Nikki, it's been a fun one. We are
We're talking to our friends, predicting
friends,
stuff,
making new friends. We made new friends tonight. We got new
making
friends.
a friend.
Christopher Leclerc, a new subscriber. Hit the old like and subscribe. We like to say, hit the old Samoan spot. Exactly. Love it. It's been a great night.
Oh,
been a fun
these are
night.
my favorite things. With my husband, drinking, talking wrestling with our friends. Brew forever.
Is that what we just...
Brew forever.
We know on this show, we pride ourselves on one thing.
It's banger after banger after banger.
After banger. Oh, Nikki, this has been a fun one. Previewing. Ooh, gosh, I'm knocking over things.
Break
here.
our bar.
Hey, I mean, this is why we don't have nice things. We get ready for Saturday night's main event tomorrow. Let's show you real quick one last roll at our predictions for tomorrow. Nikki and I agree on Drew McIntyre and Liv Morgan. Disagree. 3 other events. I've got Kevin Owens. She's got Cody Rhodes. I've got Gunther. She's got Finn Balor. I've got Bayley. She has got Chelsea Green.
Chelsea Green. I cannot flip and wait to talk to you on Sunday about Chelsea winning.
Yes, it is Sunday, not 12:15, but 12:13, but 12:15 at 6 p.m. We are going to recap this and review what happened on Saturday night's main event and see who was right, who was wrong. And that being said, let's take us out with our not so CCO, Paul Levesque, Triple H.
Thought we had a spectacular event tonight. Very excited that so far everybody seems to have come out unscathed. You know, banged up, bumps and bruises, but nobody seriously injured, which I always hold my breath on these events. You want to see people have the best outing that they can possibly have and make memories, but do it safely. And we were able to do that tonight.
We were able to do that tonight.
We were it's like months without incident now.
Thank God.
So we appreciate you all for joining us. Before you go, hit the like, hit the subscribe. It goes a long way in helping the show. It goes a long way in us helping to see you back here on the show. So we are back here Sunday, like we said. It is December 15th on Sunday. Not 13th. That's tonight. 6 p.m., our normal happy hour time, recapping Saturday night's main event. We'll get to it all. We want to hear from all you, what you thought, what you're drinking, what you're thinking, as usual. But until next time, you do not have to go home.
But you can't stay here. And bye.